Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Eric Johnson Jr. and for those who haven't seen my channel before, I try to do all things racing. So as you can see, got our late model here for circle track racing, got our gas car back there for some road course racing, baby grands behind me for some more short track racing, all kinds of fun going on in here. So if you like that kind of content, you want to see these cars in future videos, make sure to stop, go down, hit the subscribe button before we go any further. But in today's video, you know, this one's gonna be a little different than just the normal shop vlogs where we're working on the mechanical side of the car. Today's more about the appearance. And so this is kind of things that we do on the background. And you know, you'll see most teams will show up with fresh looking cars, but the process of how they get there isn't always covered or broadcast out there on the internet. And that's kind of what I wanted to do today, was show you guys the process of not only the removal, but in the future, the you know, the rebuild and the new wrap installation, stuff like that, as many different pieces of it as I can, just to kind of fill you guys in more on what we're doing in the background here in the off season. But let me kind of go over the car and show you guys what we have planned for today. So while our car has always stood out on track, the colors and the scheme I'm really proud of, it has taken quite a few blows, as you can see. Through the season racing side by side, it is not in the pristine condition as it once was. We have all kinds of little bumps and bruises on this thing. The right front, we had a little run in there in the 200, just rubbing side by side. That's really kind of beating up this entire fender and the lower half of our hood. Then we have, you know, some just from side by side racing, our door bars and the door and the side skirts beat up a little bit, or guys getting impatient or running behind you, just because in racing you're so close to each other all the time. You're gonna have little bumps and bruises, so guys just tapping the rear bumper, it's cracked it, it's ripped the wrap, the seams are not pretty, as you can see. So this wrap, while many racers would stop and say, oh, you know, it's a race car, it's supposed to look tough, it's supposed to look mean, to me personally, and this is different, that, you know, everyone's got their own reasons behind it, but personally for me, this car is a representation of how I feel about my sponsors and how I think I should treat my partners. And people like Valleyscapes, like Pacific Office Automation, like Key Property Services, Kindness 911. I mean, just the endless names on here. We had Montana Dirtworks, the Montana 200, Finish Line Graphics, the one that did the wrap for us. All those people are a small part, or I shouldn't even say small part, they're individual people that have helped push me along through my entire racing career and made it all completely possible for me. So this car, it's really important for me to make it look as good as possible, not for me, but for them, those people that have funded me, been the backbone through all of my racing. I personally just think they deserve to have something with their name on it that they can be proud of, show to everyone. I don't want it looking rough, I want it to look professional and show people that we care. And this is just the one way that I can give back to my sponsors out of, you know, many that we try to do. But personally, this is the first thing that comes to mind, because when you ask somebody to sponsor, what's the first thought is they're gonna be on the race car. So you want that to look good for them. That's really why we're gonna be doing this. So I don't plan on just getting rid of this body. A lot of it can be good spares. The only thing we've replaced all season long was from the front fenders forward one time after our Wenatchee issue in the beginning of the season. Besides that, everything has been on the car all season long. It's had some scratches, it's had some cracks, but I've put everything right back to where it's needed to go. And that's why it looks the way it is. It looks a little tired. So today's goal is to remove this entire body and set what we can aside for spares. But also, I plan on doing a few things, like I want to possibly raise some money for one of our body panels and give that money away to someone, give that door to somebody on the other side. I may keep one of these doors personally, as this, you know, was just a year to remember for us. But besides that, the other things like fenders, hood, quarter panels, they can all go to the side for spares in case we ever need them again. But we are going to do a new look on this car also, so stay tuned for that. I'm really excited to show you guys what we have in plan in the works for this car, because it is going to be a little different. I think it's going to be pretty popular once we do it. but I wanted to show you guys the entire process. So let's go actually over to the car and I'll kind of show you what it's gonna be looking like as I take this thing apart, and then we'll just jump into that. So this is gonna be very basic, so any racers out there that obviously know all this stuff, you don't gotta sit here and watch this part. But for anyone that doesn't know, our bodies are not a one-piece deal. You've probably seen in other videos, the baby grand body lifts off in a complete one piece. This does not do that. And what I mean is, if you look, we have these lines on the car. You can see a seam there, a seam there. You can see seams here that run down and across. All these seams are different sections that pop rivet on and can pop rivet off. So if I hurt a fender, I don't got to replace the whole side of the car. I just pop that fender off, pop a new one on, wrap it, and it's good. And the pop rivets, for anyone that doesn't know what those are, again, super basic, but they're just these little deals that instead of using a bolt and a nut to cinch the body pieces together at the seams, those are a little bulky. They're heavy. They just take, they're time consuming to do. We use these things called pop rivets, which are basically a one-time use little deal, which I will show you one over here. So as you can see, it's just this one-time use deal, and what you do is you take a hole that you drill into the body, you drop this down inside to that hole, you put a device on the shank, and then it sucks that little black stem you see down there, it sucks it towards the flat, that collar, and as it gets pulled up there, it expands and can't pass through the hole that it was placed into, leaving it a tight fit that can't come undone unless what you do is you take a drill and you drill out the center, and that bottom shank that I talked about, that black piece, falls out and it can come back through the hole and it's disconnected and you can take it apart. So it's a one-time use, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through and drill all these pop rivets out, and then besides that, behind the body, the only thing that's really holding this thing together besides those pop rivets is these body braces you can see down behind the fenders, and they're all over the body that basically hold it to the shape it's in, the position that it's in the unsupported parts. Besides that, underneath this thing, you're gonna see it completely naked as I tear it apart, and we'll try to just be careful, be a little detailed, so that way we can save everything, preserve it, and possibly use it as spares. So, without further ado, I'm gonna shut my mouth, I'm gonna get to work, and yeah, maybe I'll stop and talk in the middle of it, but besides that, let's get started. Alrighty, so we are about halfway done, I'd say, as far as the removal process. I'll go ahead and show you guys here. But we've gone ahead and, I mean, the quick thing, you pull off the hood, obviously, but left front fender, left side door, quarter panel, rear bumper, deck lid, spoiler. Got that rear bumper off, like I said. Now we just kind of work on getting everything else off, but as you can see, just kind of laying it all out so I can see what I have. Just took my bumper off in full, no reason to separate it as of now. But yeah, you could see definitely with the light on it how misshapen it is and beat and banged and scratched up these pieces are. So definitely a good call to pull them off and get this thing cleaned up. You can tell the car is pretty dirty right now. I mean, I hate having dirty cars, and it's pretty filthy from my standards. But I knew that if I was going to be pulling the body off, that would just give me much better access to clean it. So I'm waiting to get this all off, then I'll pressure wash it, get it all clean before we put the new body on it. So that's kind of the plan here, but I'll just keep digging. Hopefully you guys are enjoying watching. Back to it. So as you guys saw throughout those time lapses, the body is pretty basically sectioned together for the most part. You can see I got left is the roof and the quarter panels. Those are actually the most hard mounted part. If you were building it on a jig, which I've done in the past, not with this car, but with another car earlier this year, basically I'll throw in some video for you to see, but we hang it on this metal frame and attach everything to that frame, and then in which the chassis can roll under that frame with the body hanging over it in proper position, lower it down and fasten it to the tin work. And basically that is what everything else on the body attaches to. So if somebody does a reskin kit, they're going to be doing everything that attaches to these parts. And basically what I have laying here on the ground, in which I'll show you. We got the front bumper, rear bumper, left door, right door, deck lid, fender, hood, and the air box is still up there, but I had to disattach it from the nose. But for the most part, most of it's off. And so now I gotta go through, clean the car up. I'll kind of show you underneath, connected to the chassis, we have some door bars in which you could see our doors and fenders rivet to. Some of the body bracing here. If you've ever been curious what the skeleton of one of these things looks like, this is a really good view. Obviously, some things are dinged up, some things are dirty, but it gives you a rough idea of what I'm talking about. Then, as you can see here on the side door bars, we got our connections there, and then the quarter panel in which everything attaches to again. And then we have our little piece that our exhaust can come through. Pretty straightforward, and then you just got some tin blocking here. It's not like our perimeter car where I showed you has the door bars all the way to the side. This one is a lot more designed to go left, so that frame rail ends inward, not all the way out to the door bars. And this is really just bracing for the body out here. So yeah, anyways, yeah, basically, as you guys can see, it all connects on in these little pieces, but I don't think you guys are going to want to sit here and watch the whole process, so I'll finish the rest up off camera. But this is kind of the videos I just want to keep making for you guys. Let me know if you're enjoying them. Let me know if you want to see anything in specific. Just trying to kind of keep you guys included on what we're doing this off season to keep the ball rolling, keep things getting moved in the right direction. And the other question I had, is if anyone wants us to possibly, auction off some of these, give them away, just to give some fans, a lot of NASCAR teams give different pieces of sheet metal away to fans. So if anyone's interested in that, or anyone that's been a part of our team, I'd be happy to have that conversation, see what we can do to give you a piece of our real race car. It's something that would be fun. I was thinking about doing one for charity, which I thought would be pretty cool. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this thing up. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched all the way to the end of the video, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And if you want to see more content like this, you can see we're gonna be plenty busy around here. So if you want to see me work on everything else, make sure to go down and hit that subscribe button. But that's all I got for you guys today. So again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take it easy.